One of the ways that makes professional players outstanding is their strategies and way of approaching the game. Valorant is a tactical shooter. As much as aim matters, it's nowhere as important as game sense and coordination. Welcome back to Esports Driven, and in this video we'll show you every strategy the professional team PRX uses on Haven, from default setups to ecos, pistols, anti-eco post plants, and so on. These strategies will help you immensely during your ranked games, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Before we start breaking down the strategies that professional players use, it is quite important to look at your agent composition first. Many people would have thought the agent composition does not matter, which is completely wrong. Well, maybe not. Aside from some exceptions where teams went crazy, mostly they stick to a reasonable agent composition, which could be one of the reasons why they excel in the game. There isn't one definitive agent comp that you should follow, especially since it varies on the map that you're playing. However, there are often certain roles that we see being fulfilled more than others. For today's example, we'll be looking at the map Haven. Teams often run a double initiator comp, leaving one space for every other role: duelist, controller, and sentinel. Picking an agent comp also depends on your playstyle as a team and how you plan to approach the game. Some teams still go for double duelists as they make a much more aggressive playstyle. Most commonly picked agents on Haven are Chamber, Raze, Breach, Fade, and Omen, which is probably the best comp as of now, so do with that as you may. It's time to get into the strategies and what teams do in order to become very successful at the game. One of the most important rounds in Valorant are the pistols. Think about it this way: you have 2 pistol rounds every match, and the pistol most likely decides the outcome of the upcoming round. When you win a pistol, you almost always get to win the first round after due to the gun advantage, making it so if you win 2 pistols, you can probably guarantee 4 rounds. In matches that are extremely close, even 1 round can be the difference maker. Often in pistol rounds, it's played a lot more aggressively than normal gun rounds. That's what we see PRX do here, starting the round with most of their players in mid and a few others holding pushes from sites. After a few seconds, they decide to completely hit the mid area of the map, but they always fight it together. As they start pressuring mid with numbers, the enemy team tries to counter their aggression by aggression, in which they fail as Jin gets 2 picks in garage and pushes forward all the way into sight with his teammates. In this second strategy of PRX on pistols, we still see aggression, but this time utilized in the defensive lines. They always try to pinch the enemies by a push to take control of the map. In this scenario, we see PRX pinching Edward Gaming with 3 players on A aggressing together, while the Sky flashes and walks up with Jet on A long. Reyna takes space on short to be able to fight the enemies from different angles. When they realize that Edward Gaming is rushing C, they immediately full push A. They lose the initial duels, but look at how they reposition to mid to try and aggress even more for the trade. They go back and play together for the retake. Regardless of player disadvantage, they were able to stick the defuse as they know all enemies will be playing on C long. Thanks to the map control they took, they knew exactly where the enemy team was. Playing an eco round is often very tricky, as you'd most of the time lose because of gun disadvantage. However, having this concept makes people tend to aggress more often since they have nothing to lose. Winning an eco has a great impact on the game in many different ways, so let us break down to you some eco strats that you can do to win more eco rounds. We find PRX playing an eco round on the defense side. There are 2 common ways of playing ecos. You either stack or aggress. In this case, PRX is stacking towards C, leaving only 1 player on A and the rest grouped up on garage and C site. They gain player advantage because the ulted Jet takes an aggressive dry peek onto C long, which is often not done in a buy round. As that happens, the A anchor is jiggling for information on short, and they call the rotation to A. Again, you see that PRX is rotating quite quickly because on an eco, you'd want to have all your players fighting together. And again, Sky flashes for Jet A long, ending up with another pick to their advantage. As Team Liquid tries to trade that, they lose another to a Stinger, and then PRX aggresses yet one more time into A long, resulting in the thrifty round win. In this scenario, we see PRX has used both stacking and aggression to play their eco round. Defaulting is one of the most successful and basic strats in Valorant, as all you need to do is hold for the beginning of the round, gather information about the enemy, and then make a decision that you see fit. Defaulting can also be used to hold pushes from the enemy team, which gives you an advantage over their aggression. In this scenario, PRX decided to play a little slower, and they mainly defaulted at the first seconds of the round. They get info about A site but decide not to push, which is a key part of winning this round. We notice that EDG is pushing mid at the same time PRX was trying to gain a lobby control. The sky flashes and gains information that enemies are pushing. Now they have to decide whether to take a fight against the push or try to rush a site. As they try to push a site, they know their enemy has their flank holding both an early C push or late flank from mid. He gets one and then backs off, letting 2 more enemies flank, which ends up at a loss for Edward Gaming because of player disadvantage. The default strategy helped PRX gather information about the enemies and their positions and led them to make the right decision on which site to take. Post-plant situations are super important as they're one of the things you need to learn in order to excel in attack rounds. It's not necessary to have lineups to play post-plants. It's all about your positioning and ability to defend the spike plant effectively. A tough scenario for Paper Rex versus Team Liquid once again, where Paper Rex is at player disadvantage, 3 versus 4, but they're getting the spike down on the B side. How can they win this round? With proper post-plant positions, it's quite easy to outplay the retaking team. We see that the Sky stays on site after planting, mainly to maintain some control while having the Cypher right behind the wall in a position that he can trade his teammates, while the Astra is hiding in window, which is both a good flank cover and post-plant position. As the round goes, Astra repositions to have a better vision on the spike while still taking care of the flank, which leads to him getting a pick and getting traded, as the Sky in sight has walked up around where the retaking team wasn't covering, giving him an advantageous position over them, which led to him getting 2 kills on site. Thanks to this play, they recover the player advantage they lost before. Quickly, Cypher repositions to site to fight with his teammate, winning the round for his team. Since strategies are incredibly important in Valorant, it's crucial for you to know about them and get use of them as it drastically helps your gameplay. For that, we've created similar videos that will teach you about strategies in other maps like Icebox. You can check it out by clicking the video shown on screen. If you enjoyed our content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.